p.m. And we're going to be doing our gospel segment on Mondays from 10 p.m. to 12 midnight. That's 10 p.m. to 12 midnight on 91.9 FM. Listen what I want you to do. Spread the word. Spread the word, TNT. Salvation, full and free. Salvation is for everybody. Mondays from 10 p.m. to 12 midnight. That's 10 p.m. to 12 midnight on 91.9 FM.
Yo, this is a Big Mike, not the mass man, the health man. Are you one of the 40 million people suffering with joint issues like rheumatoid arthritis or osteoarthritis? Well, you are listening to the right ad. You have the ailment, we have the remedy. Call us now on 288-8301 or 346-2612.
Don't forget to tune in right here on the street 919 FM every Wednesday from 10:05 a.m.
Performance, Beatles Talk.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Broadcasting from Trinidad to the world. The Street 919FM.com. News from the Street 919FM.com. Here's what's happening.
If you look at
Good afternoon. I am Vanessa Thomas with the 12 o'clock news on the Street 919 FM and online Facebook and YouTube. In the headlines, SCA results being distributed today. No change in TNT's travel policy. Tobago gets funding for coastal projects, and internationally Bitcoin crashes on first day as El Salvador's legal tender. And now the news in detail. SCA results are being distributed today, and social media have seen many parents and children posting results. The Minister of Education, Dr. Nayan Gasvidoli, will be hosting the 2021 SCA recognition ceremony today at 3 p.m. with a live press conference. The event will be held at the Ministry of Education, St. Vincent Street, Port of Spain. The 2021 SCA recognition event is the culmination of today's distribution of results of the 2021 secondary entrance assessment exam. The ministry wishes to congratulate all students who wrote the SCA 2021 and looks forward to children's successful transition into secondary schools. In other news, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Roshan Parasram says out of the 14,000 fully vaccinated people who arrived into Trinidad and Tobago since the border reopened on July 17th, only 2 people have tested positive for COVID-19. Based on this, Dr. Parasram is defending TNT's travel policy and says there is no reason for it to change.
At that cohort, 2 persons positive out of 14,222. It means that 99.986% of them did not develop COVID upon entry into the country, at least that we are not aware. It is an extremely small percentage of people to change the policy for.
Dr. Parasram says although there is no policy for vaccinated people to quarantine upon return to TNT, they should still do so as a precaution. He mentioned one of the vaccinated returnees who went straight home where they developed symptoms and was in contact with 4 family members.
They had that person coming in, going home, and doing exactly what we are asking people to do. Have that level of personal responsibility, quarantining yourself to some extent, making sure you minimize your contact. And of course, as soon as he got symptoms, he would have tested, which is really what we want.
Dr. Parasram said because of the small amount of vaccinated people testing positive for COVID, it does not warrant more stringent quarantine measures.
Now that we have 2 out of 14,000 people being positive, builds the case to not have a punitive measure of quarantine of 14 days or otherwise for that small, extremely small subset of people, where you have 99% of people having to pay the price for an extremely small proportion of possibility of COVID.
In more news, Trinidad and Tobago is very close to securing US $15 million through the Development Bank of Latin America to address coastal projects in Tobago. At Wednesday's post-executive media briefing, Secretary for Infrastructure, Quarries and the Environment, Kwesi Devines, stated that Cabinet has agreed to the terms of the Development Bank of Latin America.
We have gone through all of the legal documents and so on, and we are well on our way to signing an MOU that would allow us a facility of $15 million that will be released in 3 tranches, and this $15 million loan will be specifically for the construction of a new Little Tobago jetty, for the rehabilitation of the seawall and other amenities at Grange Bay, and coastal rehabilitation works at Pigeon Point.
Devines noted that the Tobago House of Assembly recognizes that Little Tobago is a major contributor to the island's ecotourism product. Therefore, they have been making a short-term intervention to access the island.
So the technocrats, we were there, we recognized that some of the piles and pillars on site at Little Tobago are still usable. Their integrity is intact, and as such, we are going to be putting a temporary concrete walkway at Little Tobago, so persons can expect some immediate relief while we go through the terms of rebuilding the entire jetty.
Earlier this year, a large portion of the jetty at Little Tobago collapsed, making it inaccessible. International news now: angry protests, technological glitches, and a plummet in value marked the first day of El Salvador adopting Bitcoin as legal tender. The price of Bitcoin on Tuesday crashed to its lowest in nearly a month, falling from 52,000 to under 43,000 at one point. Here we have this NBC report.
Yeah, so, I mean, I hate to keep saying this, but it is somewhat normal to what happens in Bitcoin. And what we saw today was really similar to what happened in May, where you get this cascade effect as stop orders are hit. So we had about $3 billion worth of stop orders get hit and liquidated in a relatively short period of time. That did coincide with some tweets from the president of El Salvador, as well as some comments from the IMF. So I think what happened is people got spooked, stops were triggered, and we just cascaded lower.
An opposition politician said the fall caused one of Latin America's poorest countries to lose $3 million. And that was the 12 o'clock news on the street, 919 FM, and online Facebook and YouTube. Recapping the headlines: SCA results being distributed today. No change in TNT's travel policy. Tobago gets funding for coastal projects, and internationally, Bitcoin crashes on first day as El Salvador's legal tender. Stay tuned to the Street 919 FM. The 5 minutes playway segment comes up at 12:15. I am Vanessa Thomas. Good afternoon.